to getting your first batches made?
That's way too long for the podcast, but I'm going to try to summarize it. What we did is I started investigating the market, doing all the research around, okay, what's the market like? What is the market size? What are the consumers like, etc. And he is also trained as a chef. He started to actually, working with recipes, trying to figure out, okay, how can we actually have a product that is actually as tasty as the milk-based product in the market? So we started doing that. We did some focus groups in Madrid, testing some of the first recipes that we had. And once we had validation from that focus group, the actual work actually started, because from that moment on, we decided, okay, the recipes work on a homemade ice cream. And then will it work in an industrial facility? And how do we actually source these ingredients so that the price is not going to be, like 20 euros per pint or something like that? So that's when the first work started. So we started doing all that research. And at the same time, we started creating the brand. So the brand values, what we want to try to actually share with the consumer on the brand packaging, etc. Because one of the key things that we understood from the beginning of our experience is that it's not just the fact that the product doesn't have milk, doesn't have eggs, so it's basically plant-based, but it's also the fact that it is made with ingredients that you can draw. This is basically one of our key selling points to the distributors. And basically what we do is, if we cannot draw an ingredient, we don't use it. So we don't use methyl cellulose, monodiglycerated fatty acids, maltodextrins, all of those things which are very, very common in ice creams. We just don't use it. We're not allowed, by definition of our brand position, we are not allowed to use them, which creates some additional challenges. It's very easy to have a plant-based ice cream. It's quite challenging to have a clean label plant-based ice cream. And that's basically what we did. So once we had the first manufacturer, it was a very artisanal, small factory, a little bit north of Madrid in Spain. We worked with them for a few months, and then COVID happened. So everything went bananas again, because the first clients that we got were basically restaurants, which is much easier to convince a restaurant owner or a chef to say, okay, if you like this product, you're going to put it on your menu. And some small shops where we actually were selling our first pints. It's quite challenging as a new brand to try to target Carrefour or, Auchan or whichever other key chain that you can imagine anywhere in the world where you are. So we started working with those, and then our original manufacturer just went bananas, just couldn't handle the crisis, the COVID shutdown, and they had to actually stop business. So we had to start working on getting a new manufacturer. And that's the second part of the story. And that's when we actually refocused all of our efforts from restaurants to supermarkets, and we relaunched the brand in 2021.